best analogy for determining which exercises are good and bad for you is the traffic light analogy. Once you understand which changes in your symptoms are good and bad, you're able to move to this step for interpreting your exercises. You have your symptoms that you experience during an exercise, and then you also have your symptoms which you experience after the exercise. These are the most important. So during your exercise, your symptoms might increase, they might decrease, or they might have no effect. It might not change at all. Your symptoms after an exercise can do the same thing. You might feel better after the exercise, you might feel worse, or maybe the whole thing had no effect on how you feel. So when you're interpreting if an exercise is good or bad for you, you have your obvious red light. Stop this exercise if after you do it, your symptoms are worse. They might have increased during the exercise and felt worse after. They might have decreased during the exercise, but if you're worse after, you still need to stop the exercise. I'm just going to switch to the black pen here. They also could have had no effect during the exercise, but still left you feeling worse. Okay? Too many people focus on how they feel during the exercise, and they keep doing it if they feel better, if their pain decreases during the exercise, regardless of whether or not they feel how they feel after. You have to pay attention to this after symptom. There's also the obvious green lights. If your pain decreases during the exercise and you feel better, keep going, do more. If your pain increases during the exercise, but afterwards you feel better, keep going. I don't care how much you hurt during, if you feel better after, keep going. And of course, it can have no effect during, but you still feel better after. The yellow light is where people get tricked up. Okay? It can be, of course, increase, decrease, or stay the same during, but ultimately everything in the yellow light has no effect. It increased during the exercise, your pain, but afterwards you really felt the same. Don't call it a bad exercise you don't know yet. After the exercise you still had no change from before you did the exercise. Do more. Find out if it's bad or good. I've had lots of times where I've had somebody do a set of exercises, no change. So I have them do it again. No obvious change. I do it a third time. And all of a sudden it starts becoming green. And sometimes it also starts becoming red. And alright, now I actually know what to do. The biggest mistake people do is they stop here. They're like, I don't know if this is good or bad, so I'm just going to stop this exercise. It's not much fun for me. You have to do more until you have a clear answer. In addition to no effect, I'm going to add one more category to this yellow light, and I'm going to call it the question mark. People will say to me after a set of exercise, you know what? I think I feel better. I usually will say, well, how much better do you feel? Give me a percentage. Maybe 2% better. Or maybe my pain improved from a 2 to a 1 out of 10. It was a 2 out of 10, now it's a 1 out of 10. I'm going to say, do more. I don't know if that's a real change or not. I don't know if it's really good for you or not. Same thing if it gets worse. I think this is making me worse. How is it making you worse? Well, before I was achy, now it's burning. What about the level of intensity? It feels similar intensity, it's just different. Alright, different, I don't know if that's good or bad. Let's do more to find out for certain. It might become green, or it might become red. You have to do more to find out. If you've done 3-4 sets of an exercise, every single time, no effect, no effect, no effect, move on, see if you can try something new. Okay? I hope that was helpful. Let's start the assessment.